Right here, I am cleansing the face with witch hazel, and then I will go straight into filling in the brows. The first thing I like to do is brush the brow hair into place, and then I personally like to start the brows from the tail. Usually that's the part where people are missing the most, so I like to start at the tail and extend it, and then from there I will either work from the bottom by extending them in the front, or I'll fill them in and then extend the front. Now she has great brows, so this wasn't hard to do. If you want to see a brow tutorial on her, or you want to see a brow tutorial on somebody with more sparse brows, I'll probably do that on myself because I have sparse brows. I can do that. You just have to let me know. So I basically just, like I said, extended the tail, and I filled them in wherever I felt was missing hair. Now I usually have to fade the brows twice, once before I conceal and after, and you'll see that in the following clips. So when I'm doing brows, I always start at the arch. That's where I like to focus most of the product, and then I work my way to the front, and then I'll go into the top. I can make a detailed video. It's just this video was more focused on the eyeshadow and the eye work, but I can definitely go in to detail in a tutorial for you guys. So right here I'm just carving out the bottom. It was very easy. Like I said earlier, her brows are groomed, so it makes the process way easier and faster. Mostly always use the concealer that I use to clean up the brows as the eyeshadow base. So all I did was just drag it down to the lash line, and then I blended it out. And I also cleaned up the top of the brows with the same exact shade from Tarte. Today I chose to set the eyelids, and I used Laura Mercier translucent powder. And then after that, I went straight into the eyeshadow. So for this eyeshadow look, I only used two colors. I used one color from the Juvias Place Bronze Duo in the shade Dark. And I also used the Warrior 2 palette. So when you're blending, all you have to remember is to blend back and forth in windshield wiper motions and blend in circles, in circular motions. That's it. If you can remember that, you can blend. If you want to see a detailed tutorial, let me know, and I will do that for you. So as you can see right here, I'm just blending back and forth in windshield wiper motions. And that's how I get that nice blend. And then you'll see me drag that same dark shade, which is the second shade I used, down to the lash line. Like I said earlier, I'm just blending in windshield wiper motions, and then I'm going to bring the darker shade all the way down to the lash line. I have to tell you guys about putting on these rhinestones. So I did not like the lash glue I used. Everything would have worked out better if I could have found my favorite clear lash glue, which is the INV lash glue, and it's also latex free. I could not find it, so I had to use this lash glue. In the following clips, you will see the diamonds fall off. But if you can get that glue, you'll be perfectly fine. These rhinestones are from Forever Ritzy. I like them a lot. They're very high quality and they shine really good. So I did not have a specific technique when applying these rhinestones. I really freestyled it, but I'll try to explain what I did. So I went in with 3 dots and applied 3 rhinestones. I liked how that looked and went straight into the glue again and applied 2 more dots. And then I applied the rhinestones. Now with these last 3 dots, I switched the size of the rhinestones and went a little bit smaller. So that's all I did. I did 3 dots, applied the rhinestones, 2 more dots, applied the rhinestones, and did 3 more dots. And that's what you'll see in these clips. That's all I did. And it worked out pretty good. Until rhinestones start falling off because of the bad lash glue. So right here, I am just cleaning up her under eye with a little bit more witch hazel. And then I went straight into her moisturizer. And then I used e.l.f. matte putty primer. And I also used Calomine lotion. I always use 2 primers because when girls come to me, they like to keep their makeup on for a very long time, past one day. I tell them don't do that, but they don't listen. But they keep their makeup on for a very long time. And Calomine lotion will prolong your makeup. And I recommend that more than using milk of magnesia because it's skin safe. So I originally had did a swatch with the black opal stick. The perimeter of her forehead is darker than usual, and also her neck. So what I decided to do was use Maybelline and then use the black opal in the inside. I really love the black opal foundation sticks. I feel like they changed the formula and it's even better because it's not super oily. So I highly recommend that. And I work in sections. I did one side of the face, her forehead, and then the other side. And it made a really nice color once I blended in the black opal foundation stick with the Maybelline Fit Me. I do prefer to paint on the foundation instead of put foundation on my brush and then onto the face. I find that it comes out more full coverage that way. So that's what I like to do. And then I just pat it in and blend. As you can see, rhinestones started to fall off and there's like empty spaces on her eyes. And that's when I knew that the lash glue was terrible that I used. After blending her face, I decided I wanted a little bit more coverage, so I went back in with the black opal foundation stick on the inside of her face and started blending a little bit more. Here I am applying her Tarte concealer. I'm doing basically an upside down triangle, and then I'm going to apply it on the top of her lip and on her chin and on her forehead. And I'm going to blend that in with an e.l.f. sponge. And then after that, you will see me go in with a lighter shade because I wanted it a little bit more bright.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way,
whenever I am blending concealer, I always make sure to go back in with the foundation brush I used and buff out the edges. So that's what I'm doing here before I go in with the lighter concealer I use to highlight. With the lighter shade, I did the same exact thing, but this time I went down the nose bridge. Again, I'm going back in with the brush I used for the foundation. I'm just buffing out the edges. So right before I apply the loose powder, I always make sure to blend the under eye one more time. Right here I am using Laura Mercier translucent powder again, and I am just applying it on the under eye, on the top of her lip, her chin, her nose, and her forehead. Basically everywhere I highlight it. When I initially apply the loose powder, I go in with a very thin layer because I do eventually go in with a second layer, and I also buff off the loose powder with the pressed powder. So I just do very thin layers. For her face, I use two powders, the Maybelline and Mac, and for her bronzer, I also use two shades of Mac. They will be in the description box down below. So for this look, I decided I didn't want a cream contour. I just wanted to use powders. When you're applying powder for bronzer, just try to make sure to pat instead of swiping. If you pat, it'll come out more seamless and it won't be harsh at all. So right here, I'm still applying the first shade. I believe I used NW43. And then to deepen up the contour, I decided to use NW46. Like I said earlier, I'm just patting just to make sure that it's flawless and it's not harsh. I learned this patting technique instead of swiping from Nikki Posley. He's one of my favorite makeup artists. Probably like top 3 for me. I just noticed that he always pats. He never swipes, and his work is super flawless. Right here, I'm using a wedge to cut the contour. And then I'm also going to contour the nose and then apply the second layer of powder under the eye and on the bridge of the nose. So that's what you'll see me doing in the following clips. I slowed this down for you so you can see it in real time of how I clean up the contour. I told you guys before, I am not big on nose contouring. I do not like a harsh nose contour. I like for it to look as soft as possible. So that's what I'm here doing. And then I go straight into cleaning up the nose contour with the Laura Mercier powder.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last.
When I am cutting the contour or cleaning it up, I always prefer to use a wedge. My favorite wedges are from Walmart, so that's where you can get them at. And right here, I am applying, again, I'm using Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette. I'm using the peach shade as blush. That's why I highly recommend for you guys to get it, because it's great eyeshadow, and I use it for blush, and I have used it for contour in the past. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm applying blush. Blush just ties the entire look together. Right here, I'm applying cream eyeliner. And then I go into smudging the lash line with the same brown, the same dark brown that I used for the lid. And I'm just applying L'Oreal mascara. It's my favorite mascara, with a disposable mascara wand. Finally, the clip is here where I reapply the rhinestones. And then I dust off the second layer of powder with the pressed powder from MAC all over her face. And I'm using a very gentle touch to do that so it stays flawless. I went back in with the brush that I used to apply her face powder, and I knocked off the powder underneath her contour. And then after that, you will see me go in and take off a rhinestone because it slid because of the glue, reapply it. And then I also showed you the lashes I used from Forever Ritzy. So I made another mistake. I applied the rhinestones too close to the lash line, so it's very difficult for me to paint on the lash glue, as you can see, and also apply the lashes. So when you do this, please make sure to keep the diamonds up and not so close to the lash line. And right here, I'm just popping on the lashes. The lashes just really make the look come together. So right here, I'm just cleaning off her lips. Then I go in with a little bit of Vaseline and I start lining them. I'm not super big with overlining lips, but if you like to do it, do that. Then I applied her lipstick, which is from Arcade by Kiss. And then I applied more lip liner. I go back and forth between a lipstick and a lip liner just to make sure that it's blended how I like it. And then that's when I'll go in with the lip gloss. So at this point, we're basically done. She knows she's looking good and she's starting to feel it. I'm just doing finishing touches, going under the under eye again and spraying her face with setting spray. And now I'm just, I told her to take off the scrunchie so we can get the full look. And I brushed her hair a little bit. And now she's looking at herself and this is her reaction. So she's really happy. She's feeling it. I was feeling it too. I really like this look. It was very fun. Please let me know what you guys want to see down below in the comments. I will record anything you want. And thank you so much for